You know what's coming before you even open your eyes. Not excitement, not warmth, just that quiet, heavy feeling sitting in your chest. The day hasn't even started, and you already want it to be over. And the worst part? You can't explain it, because from the outside, it makes no sense. Your birthday is supposed to be a good day. People care about you. Messages come in. Someone probably planned something. You're supposed to feel lucky, but you don't. You feel tired, and maybe a little ashamed that you feel tired. So let's talk about what's actually going on. Because hating your birthday has nothing to do with being ungrateful. It's not dramatic, and it's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's about something much more specific. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the first thing nobody says out loud. Birthdays put you in a spotlight you never asked for. Suddenly, the whole day is about you. People are watching, messaging, waiting for a reaction, a smile, a version of you that can receive all this attention without going stiff inside. And if you've spent most of your life being more comfortable giving than receiving, if being noticed feels awkward rather than good, that alone is enough to make the whole day feel like a performance you didn't rehearse for. You're supposed to stand still and let people point warmth at you. For some people, that feels wonderful. For others, it feels like standing under a spotlight with nowhere to hide. But then the messages come in, and something even stranger happens. You look at your phone, names you haven't heard from in months, quick texts, generic wishes from people who don't really know your life. And instead of feeling full, you feel lonelier than before they reached out. Because attention is not the same as being known. When people who only show up on your birthday suddenly flood in with warmth, it doesn't fill the gap, it outlines it. It shows you exactly how thin the connection is the other 364 days. The kindness is real, but it lands on the surface while the deeper part of you stays hungry. That contrast, warmth followed immediately by emptiness, can feel worse than silence. And this is the part that confuses most people. They think you're being cold or cynical, but you're not. You're someone who can feel what's underneath the surface, and what's underneath is often not enough. Then comes the part that really gets under the skin, the reflection. A birthday is the one day a year that grabs you by the shoulders and quietly asks, "So, how's it going?" Not the polite version, the real one, the kind that makes you scan your own life and notice every place things haven't moved the way you hoped. The relationship you thought you'd have by now. The version of yourself you assumed you'd be. The things you've been carrying for years that were supposed to feel lighter by this age. Most days you can step around those questions. On your birthday, they sit right in front of you. And if your honest answer is "I don't know" or "not great," the forced cheerfulness of the day makes that feel 10 times heavier. Everyone around you is acting like this is supposed to be simple and warm and fun. Meanwhile, you're sitting with a quiet weight that the balloons don't touch. Here's something that took me a while to understand. A lot of people who hate their birthday don't actually want less love. They want more real love than the day delivers. They don't hate being cared for. They hate how the day exposes how much of the connection in their life lives only on the surface. The same person who hasn't checked on you in 6 months shows up on your birthday like nothing happened, and their message might be completely sincere, but something in you notices the inconsistency. Inconsistency hurts more than absence sometimes, because absence is at least honest. Inconsistency gives you just enough warmth to feel the cold again the moment it leaves. So what looks like not liking birthdays is actually something deeper. It's sensitivity. It's the ability to feel the gap between what a moment is supposed to mean and what it actually delivers. And that gap is real. You're not imagining it. But there's one more layer underneath all of this, and it's the quietest one. Some people dread their birthday because some part of them doesn't fully believe they deserve a whole day that's just about them. If you've spent years being the reliable one, the one who shows up, holds things together, takes care of everyone else, then receiving care without doing anything to earn it first can feel genuinely uncomfortable. People are kind to you, and instead of relaxing into it, you deflect, you minimize, you say, "Oh, it's fine, it's just a birthday, don't make a big deal." Not because you don't want warmth, because being on the receiving end, without a task, without a role, without a reason, feels unfamiliar, almost embarrassing. A birthday forces you into that position, whether you're ready or not. And for people who are used to earning their place in every room they walk into, simply existing as the reason for celebration can feel like too much. Now here's the part I want you to really sit with. Everything we've talked about, the discomfort with attention, the loneliness that gets louder when people reach out from a distance, the pressure of reflection, the self-worth piece, none of it is childish. None of it is ungrateful. It's actually a sign that you feel things at a depth most people don't talk about. People who hate their birthday are usually the most emotionally aware people in the room. They feel the difference between surface and substance, between performance and real connection, between someone showing up for the day versus someone who actually shows up for you. That awareness is not a flaw. It's just that birthdays, as a ritual, aren't really built for people like that. They're built for the surface, the cake, the candles, the messages. And when you feel what's underneath the surface, the ritual starts to feel hollow, empty in a way that's hard to explain without sounding like you're complaining. You're not broken because birthdays feel heavy. You're someone who needs something real, and birthdays, as they usually go, often can't give you that. So what do you actually do with all of this? You start by giving yourself permission to name it honestly. Not, "I hate birthdays, I'm so cynical," but something more like, "I find it hard to be the center of attention. I feel lonely when people reach out only because the calendar told them to. I feel pressure to perform a kind of happiness I don't actually feel. I use this day to measure myself against where I thought I'd be, and sometimes that measurement hurts." When you can say that, even just to yourself, the day loses some of its grip. And maybe this year, instead of managing everyone else's idea of what your birthday should look like, you just do what's actually true for you. A quiet morning, one real conversation, something small that actually feels like you. Not a performance, not an obligation dressed up as celebration, just a day that belongs to you, on your own terms. Because here's the thing, you don't need to love your birthday. You don't need to perform gratitude you don't feel, or pretend the day is simpler than it is for you. You just need to understand what the day actually stirs up, and meet yourself there with a little more kindness than the day usually brings. That's enough. If any of this felt familiar, if you recognized yourself somewhere in here, send this to one person who needs to hear it. You probably already know who. Drop a comment below and tell me what hits hardest: the attention, the loneliness, the reflection, or the pressure of time passing. I read everything you write, and if you want more honest content like this, subscribe. There's a lot more coming.